Hey guys, you can tell I'm back in the kitchen rather than my own home kitchen, and I don't know where things are. The guys clearly don't trust me filming myself in my own kitchen, so I'm back at School of Wok. And for this week, I'm going to cover some sort of differences in dim sum flours because I think it's really interesting for myself, and sort of in terms of uses and what you might do with them, I think most people don't really know. So I'm actually going to make some bao here today, and this is a Chinese plain flour, essentially. And that Chinese plain flour is milled to a much finer grain to Western plain flour. It will look a lot whiter because of that, and because it's just sort of every grain is so much finer. In wheat flours, in Chinese wheat flours, similarly to Western flours, you've got different levels. So the three main levels: low, medium, and high gluten wheat flours. Essentially, the higher the gluten level, the more elastic the dough will be if you're using that sort of flour. So lower gluten would be like a soft cake flour, and much more fluffy. A medium gluten, good for things like bao because you want the fluff, but you also want the elasticity. And then higher gluten, if you get good at it, then making noodles and even dumplings give it that little bit more bite and that extra texture. Now, when you're going into other different flours, you could use that medium gluten flour, which is very similar to this, what they call dumpling flour here. So your dumpling flour is essentially sort of a medium to high gluten wheat flour, and you get a good bite. Now, this dumpling flour or normal, you could just swap it out with normal plain flour, is great for creating that elastic sort of dough. Great for gyoza, so the translation would be simple dumplings, gyoza, or even like soup dumplings where you're putting the soup inside or jelly inside, that stock inside. You want that elasticity, you want it to be able to hold. Then as you go through to sort of more sort of dim sum pastries, then you'll start using different flours. And the classic dim sum that everyone wants to know how to make is a hagao, which is the clear or crystal prawn dumpling. So that pastry that is almost like translucent in color. And that generally is made up of either potato starch or corn starch, which is here. And I don't like doing this, but you kind of squeeze it and it sort of feels chalky, kind of like that feeling when you're sort of scratching a blackboard. And if you think about that chalkiness, that texture of your corn flour, great for crisping things up if you're deep frying, or thickening sauces mixed with a bit of water for that corn flour paste. Same with potato starch. But when it comes to dumplings, it does a similar sort of thing. Corn flour kind of holds things up and binds your pastry in a slightly different way. So if you're using flours that don't have gluten in them, like your tapioca starch or your wheat starch, then that corn flour, potato starch will help to sort of suck the whole thing up and sort of just contain the flour and dough in the shape that you want it to be. So with this hagao, this crystal prawn dumpling, I would use a combination of wheat starch, tapioca starch, and corn flour. The corn flour to sort of tighten the whole dough up. Wheat starch is the sort of the gluten-free part of wheat flour, or it should be. And so again, unless you use boiling hot water, if you used sort of warm or cold water to bind that, it wouldn't really create a dough. It would just be a little bit sludgy. But what it is good for is the texture and sort of a slight sponginess of the dough, and the color, so the white color. Tapioca starch is fantastic for that jelly-like structure and that translucency, so the clear sort of visual of that dumpling. So that's what gives it that clarity, that see-through nature for that type of dough. So that's to make up your hagao dough. I've used this to sort of give you an understanding of the difference in the types of flours and what we might use to make different types of dim sum. So guys, now that we're doing the sort of live Q&A once a month on the full School of Wok free channel, I figured actually with these Q&As, these weekly Q&As, it might be nicer for me to give you these quick tutorials around different parts of Asian cuisine that you're going to benefit from. So if you do have any sort of really specific questions or general topics of conversation you want to learn more about, do let me know.